Alright, this lesson's also about fractions, so I started with this hilarious little picture. It says there's a thin line between numerator and denominator. I bet only a fraction of you get this. Speaking of numerator and denominator, remember the numerator is the top number and the bottom number is called the denominator. And that thin line between them is what we're going to focus on today. That thin line, I don't know if you remember from last year, means divide. So all that little bar means is to divide. It's just another way to write the division symbol. In order to help you understand this, we're going to practice solving some division number stories and writing your own division number stories. Alright, our first number story is not a true story, although we wish that it was. It says Angel brought 4 big bowls of chili to school for 5 teachers to share equally. How much chili did each teacher get? All right, when we're looking at this, we need to think first for our number model. We're going to do our number model before the solution. And in order to figure out the number model, we know it's going to be division, because I already told you we're going to be dividing. We look at the two numbers that are in the story. So we have 4 big bowls of chili and 5 teachers. Now the biggest part that students confuse is, do we put the 4 first in the number sentence or the 5 first? And the answer to that is, what are we dividing? Are we splitting up the bowls of chili, or are we dividing the teachers? Are we cutting up the teachers? Obviously we're not cutting up the teachers, so the 4 for the big bowls of chili goes first in our number sentence. Right, and we're dividing that, so 4 divided by 5. And since I told you that the division sign also means the line for our fraction, the fastest way to solve this is that the 4 becomes the numerator, the top number, and the 5, so then we draw our division sign, our fraction line, and then the 5 becomes the denominator. So the answer, if we do 4 divided by 5, the answer would be 4/5. And if you don't believe me, you can draw a picture to check it. So then our solution would be 4/5 bowls of chili, or just 4/5 bowls. Alright, let's try another one. Miss Levon made 4 pans of brownies for 12 students to share equally. How much did each student get? So we have 4 pans of brownies and 12 students. For our number sentence, are we dividing the pans of brownies? Are we cutting up the pans of brownies? Or are we dividing or cutting up the 12 students? No, we're not going to cut up the students. That would be gross and we would get fired. So the 4 goes first in our number sentence. Okay, we're doing 4 divided by. The reason that we're dividing is because we are sharing the pans of brownies equally. Shared equally is our keyword there. We're dividing that by the 12 students. And our answer again, remember the 4 is our numerator. Then we draw our division line, our fraction line, and 12 becomes the denominator. So our answer is 4/12. Again, up here, our solution is 4/12 pans of brownies. Pretty easy, huh? I think you'll get this lesson pretty quickly. Now, for part of this lesson and in future lessons, you're going to have to write your own division number stories. And in order to do that, it's kind of a lot of steps, but the first step is to come up with your fraction. And this is exactly what your math journal is going to look like. So the fraction, it can be anyone that you want. I came up with 3/5 for mine. Okay, in my number sentence, I have to start with my numerator, which was 3. I'm going to divide that by 5 to equal 3/5. Oops. 3/5. All right, now I just have to make a number sentence a number story to match my number sentence. So the first part to figure this out is, who do you want your number story to be about? I want mine to be about Miss Anderson. Okay, and Miss Anderson, she loves protein balls. So that's what she's going to be making in my number story, is protein balls. Sorry if you can't read my writing. It's hard to write on the iPad. And the next one is to figure out how many. So how many batches is she's going to make? I'll do 3 batches. And the reason that I did 3 was because that was what I was dividing in my number sentence. So she was dividing 3 things. Also, the reason that I chose protein balls was 1, Miss Anderson loves them. But for 2, food is like the easiest thing to divide up. So when you're writing your number stories, I would recommend using food. Okay. And then the last part is to go ahead and start writing your number story. So mine's going to be Miss Anderson made 3 batches of protein balls. She shared them equally between how many people? My denominator in my story says 5, so she's going to share them equally. It's really, really important that you have shared equally in your number sentence, because that's your keyword that tells you to divide. Shared equally between 5 people. Okay? And then you have to end with your question, like mine would be, what fraction of a batch did each person get? Okay, the last step is to double check to make sure that your number sentence matches your number story. So mine says Miss Anderson made 3 batches of protein balls. So we're dividing up 3 batches of protein balls. She shared them equally between 5 people. My denominator is 5, so I know that that matches. And then I have my keyword shared equally, which tells me that I'm dividing. And then I ended with a question: what fraction of a batch did each person get? Good luck on your assessment, guys.